Coming to you direct from the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, located at Student of the Gun University. Stand by for education, enlightenment, and entertainment. He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, your host, Professor Paul Markel. Cue applause. Thanks, Johnny. All right, we're back for a Wednesday excursion of Student of the Gun Radio, and welcome. If you're new, we promise not to be gentle with you.
Did you hear that we had a couple people? One dude said that he would double the price that he pays for the Monday through Thursday show if you did the intro every day. And so I said, we'll triple it. How about if you triple it? And he said, okay.
Triple it for free times free?
Yep.
Nothing times nothing. No, don't you know the only reason that we do this is just so that we can increase our subscribership? We use tragedy to increase our weekly radio show subscribership.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that you don't pay for, that you listen to for free on iTunes or Stitcher or Podcast Republic or wherever. Oh, I know, Jared, I got it. It's the radio show that you listen to for free on the Student of the Gun mobile app because you don't have to pay to it thanks to Century Arms. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I got it now. All right. I'm glad we cleared that up. All right, welcome. I am Paul Markel, and on the other side of the glass case of emotion is Jared. He is the studio producer.
I produce studios?
The show producer, the studio engineer, the smart aleck in charge, and the sun's out and the guns are out. Did you buy that after you saw that 22 Jump Street movie?
I didn't buy it.
Oh, was it given to you then?
Yeah.
I got you.
I don't remember. Oh, it was Mary. Mary gave it to me.
Because that's on the... I actually was walking through the Evil Empire yesterday, and you know how they have the promo racks of DVDs out in the aisle, so you have to step over them to get basically past them. And that was one of the movies they were trying to sell, was the 22 Jump Street. And on the cover, there's Channing Tatum with your shirt on his body. Quit yawning over there, you freak. All right, it is a Wednesday, and because it is a Wednesday, that means it's SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk Update, or, the SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk for Wednesday. You want to remind him where the super cool Professor Paul dance moves are going on?
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you guys pay attention to the Instagram, Student of the Gun on Instagram, then you would see that I put up a video of Professor Paul dancing to his SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk. I believe it was to that one. It might have been to something else.
The Fitness Talk one? Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Was it that? Yeah.
No, I think it was.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did his little dance moves, and he thought I was taking a picture, and then afterwards he's like, oh, did you take a video? I was like, yep.
Yeah. So if you're an Instagram follower, then you've seen it. Yep. If you're not, then you haven't. So there you go.
And who doesn't?
But I want to watch it through my radio.
You wanna? We haven't quite figured out how to make you that watch happen yet.
Yeah, that's called television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Radio with pictures is called television. It was invented several years ago. When did you put the unicorn sticker on your laptop?
As soon as you gave it to me, because I've been looking for it so I could do that.
When you found it on the... He was looking for a sticker, and I went to scan a document, and I lifted up the tray, or the cover on the scanner, and there it was.
I don't know how it got there. I don't know why I would scan a sticker.
No one in this building claims to have done that.
It was probably Mom messing with us.
Yeah, that's probably... No, she's not that devious. All right.
You don't think so?
No, not when it comes to stuff like that. When she comes in, all of her mischievous activities are obvious.
Yeah.
She leaves us notes all over the place. Well, we can't talk about those notes because it's not the bonus hour. All right, let's talk about the Jared.
You want to talk about Jared?
No. I want you to talk about the SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk.
Okay. Today I'm going to talk about hydration. And it's a very simple concept that a lot of people don't really think about. Your body is made up of 80% water, so you need to put water in your body. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't have the energy to work out. It might be because you're not drinking enough water. Like right now, I'm kind of tired, but I've drank enough water. I just need to take some SWAT fuel.
Well, and it is gray and cloudy and blah today.
Yep.
And you cheated. Today was your cheat day, and you had a
yeah, I did. I had a burger from Five Guys.
From what is it? Los Pollos Hermanos, the Chicken Brothers.
I don't know.
From Breaking Bad. I was going to say like the Cinco Hermanos. Cinco Hermanos hamburgers.
That's funny.
The Five Brothers hamburgers. Anyway, hydration.
Yeah, so think about it. Literally, think about it. Think about how much water you're drinking. What I started doing recently is I'll fill up a gallon of water and I'll bring it with me to work, or I'll carry it with me throughout the day so I know exactly how much water I've drank. If the gallon's empty, then I drink a gallon. And I recommend drinking half the amount of ounces that you weigh. So if you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water.
Well, but I drink Diet Coke during the day. I drink Coke Zero. I drink I drink like 5 Coke Zeros a day.
Can you see through the Coke Zero?
If I hold it up to the light.
No, you can't see through it.
I'm kidding. I don't drink 5 Coke Zeros a day.
And some people have a problem retaining water. And to those people, I recommend, you'll know if you have a problem retaining water because you'll drink it and then you'll pee immediately. So to those people, I recommend eating some kind of salt to retain the water, or add a little bit of coconut water to your water jug, and that'll help you retain the water.
Well, all right, cool.
I actually just learned the coconut water trick last week when I was at that convention. So
all right. Well, there you go. Drink water. And the truth of the matter is, Jared, I learned that obviously a long time ago. But
you want to tell them about what's it called? Hyponatremia?
No, they have to come to the class to get that speech.
Oh, okay.
But I will tell you this. Yeah, we do the heat-related illnesses and so forth and Beyond the Band-Aid.
Which we actually have classes scheduled for. So
we do have a Beyond the Band-Aid class scheduled.
If you want to take that class,
Biloxi.
Then it's studentgungear.com. You can sign up.
No, the acclimation. When you take your body, if you're traveling, and this is really important, this is very, very important, traveling is hard on you physically. It is hard on your body, especially if you're traveling via airplane and you're going from one climate to another. You're going from the coast to the mountains to the coast. You're going to the jungle. You're going to the desert. You're going to, the tropics. You're going wherever it is you're going. It's hard on your body because you're changing the environment. And at the same time, when people go on vacation or they travel, they like to think, oh, well, I can, I'm here to have fun. I want to relax. I want to indulge myself. So they drink a lot of sugar drinks. They drink a lot of alcohol and so forth. And your body needs water. When I was in the Marine Corps, one of the ways that we were able to acclimatize our bodies quickly from, let's say, your very southern humid area in like Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, you get on a plane, and 6 hours later you're in the desert you're in the Mojave Desert, so you're drinking lots of water, or you go to whatever. Water. Drink lots of water. Chill out on the caffeine, chill out on the sugar, but drink lots of water. Especially, and do I have to tell you that if you go up into the mountains, you go to Aspen, you go to Vail, you go to wherever, you go to Jackson Hole, a lot of people don't realize it. Even Prescott, Arizona is very high as far as elevation is concerned. So your body needs that water. So give it that water.
Speaking of traveling, I'll be near Seattle in the beginning of August.
What?
Yep, if anybody is.
When did this come about?
I told you about that like last week.
I don't remember the whole Seattle part.
Yeah.
And how are you going to get there?
By plane.
By airplane?
Yep.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yep.
All right, well, this next segment is brought to you by our friends at Crossbreed, who, in addition to sponsoring the mobile app, are also sponsors of the radio show. So thank you, Crossbreed, for that. And we're going to be spending some time with Jacob Herman from Crossbreed. I almost said cross.
Yeah, so yes. You said Crossbreed. I was like, my life just went upside down face.
Oh, yeah, I the other C. All right. Century Arms is the sponsor of the radio show and the mobile app, and we're going to be seeing Jacob tomorrow. Crossbreed Holsters is the radio sponsor who can assist you if you want to carry a gun. So let's say you purchase a gun from Century and you want to wear it on your body, such as the new TP9 V2. You're like, what is going on? we haven't wrapped our paws around one of these things yet. But apparently, you know what, Jared? I don't know if they're trying to please people, if they're trying too hard to please people, or they're just being accommodating. So here's what they did. Listen up. What they did with the TP9 V2 or version 2 is they took the same exact frame style as the TP9 SA, which is really a good frame style. It's a full-size gun you can wrap your paws around. And they put essentially the P99 and the SW99, the TP9, whatever, that DASA trigger with the decocky thing. Now, you know the super secret trick on that, Jared? When you chamber around in that gun, you don't have to decock it. You can just, like, drive on. Like the TP9, the original.
Really?
Yeah, for the people like, oh, the first trigger press is too heavy. I'm like, well, just chamber around and drive on, dude. It's got that little two-piece Glocky-like trigger, or M&P-like trigger, or whatever-like trigger. It's got the trigger safety on it and all that good stuff. All right, so Crossbreed holsters, and who else? Well, for this segment, it's going to be Frog Lube. Frog Lube, it just works. It's minty fresh, it's green, it's non-petroleum based, and it makes your guns run really, really well. Do I even want to get into this story? I have to get into this story. I don't want to get into this story. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I say to you that I don't want to have to talk about this, but I have to talk about it. Oh,
you just want to use it to get more subscribers.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, I want the nation to be secure. I want the government to be concerned about securing the borders and fighting our enemies and leaving us alone. That's what I want. That is what I want. But apparently I'm not going to get that today. The source for this one is theblaze.com. Now, this story's been all over the place, but this particular source is theblaze.com. Dateline, June 22nd, 2015. Pope Francis, who I am not really down with at all for many reasons, delivers tough message about weapons manufacturers who call themselves Christians. Pope Francis insinuated over the weekend that weapons manufacturers and those who invest in the weapons industry are hypocrites if they call themselves Christians. You mean kind of like people that have 24-hour armed guards and call for gun control? You mean like people that use other people's money to pay for armed security, and while they're being protected by 24-hour armed security that was paid for not by them, but by other people's money, then they get up in front of a microphone and call for gun control? You mean that kind of a hypocrite? Is that the kind of hypocrite we're talking about here, Jared?
Yeah, exactly that kind of hypocrite.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clear that up. And here's a quote from Il Papa. It says, "It makes me think of people, managers, businessmen who call themselves Christians, and they manufacture weapons," he said at a youth rally in Turin, Italy, according to Reuters. That leads to a bit of distrust, doesn't it? You mean like someone who claims to be a church leader who apparently is like 100% down with the Communist Manifesto and is speaking as if he was schooled by Marx? You mean that kind of distrust? Yeah, that kind of distrust. As for those who invest in the weapons industry, Pope Francis had equally tough words. Quote, "Duplicity is the currency of today. Say one thing and do another. Holy crap balls!" Woo! Dudes and dudettes. Dudes. And my Catholic friends, I don't, all right. If you're a faithful Catholic listener, and what do you think of this dude? This dude is like he's like down with the global warming, and he's against the capitalism, and he's for like redistribution of wealth, and now a dude who sleeps safely in his bed at night because he has 24-hour armed security that is paid for not by him, but by his followers, by donations into the coffers of the Catholic Church. This same dude is going to get in front of a group of people and say, well, if you invest in the weapons. Hey, what, Jared, the Swiss Guard that protects the Pope, I actually work with the Swiss Guard when cool dudes. At least in 1993 they were. When I was doing the Pope John Paul II thing that we talked about. What book did I talk about that in?
Five Strategies.
The Five Strategies book? Okay. Anyway, I got to meet some of the guys from the Swiss Guard, and they were dressed like Secret Service dudes, except the funny thing about the Swiss Guard in 93 is the Secret Service guys, they had evolved to the clear plastic earpieces, so even though it was sticking out of their ear, it wasn't really obvious, Did I tell you this story?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, the Secret Service guys, even in 93, they had already evolved to the clear earpieces, the clear pieces that you really, it's opaque. But we could tell immediately the Swiss Guard Vatican security guys because theirs were black. Their earpieces were black. So they had the ear thing and the wire that ran down the back of their shirt and so forth. And I just thought that was kind of funny. But they basically dressed just like the Secret Service. They had dark suits and dark ties and white shirts and everything. So I got to work with some of those guys. But yeah, this right here, this whole deal is extremely. I've seen a whole bunch of quotes, or memes or whatever. That the Pope supposedly said this. The Pope supposedly came out in support of global warming. The Pope supposedly came out against, capitalism and, the blah, 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 redistribution of wealth and all this. And I'm thinking, that's got to be propaganda, right? That's got to just be people twisting the words around. But I'm at the point now where, no, I'm not really believing that it's propaganda. And it is the ultimate. You want to talk about hypocrites? Have you lost? I guess when you get to a certain point, you just completely lose touch with reality, and you just start generating your own reality. Kind of like American politicians, who have 24-hour Secret Service protection, and then get up in front of a microphone and say how you people out there can't be trusted with guns. No, that's what the question I was going to ask you is. So when the Pope, when he's hanging out and he's surrounded by the Pope guards there, the Swiss guards. He's against weapons manufacturers because they can't be Christians and they're all hip. You can't be a Christian and a weapons manufacturer. Who makes the guns that the Swiss Guard carries? They made by like I don't know, leprechauns or something, or did they just fall out of the sky, or did they find this stash of SIG pistols and MP5s like in the catacombs underneath the Vatican? They're like, let's just use those. Somebody's got to make the stuff. Who's making the guns that your guards are carrying? Well, apparently not Christians. Apparently Satanists are making the guns that the Swiss Guard carries. Now, I know, those of you who've been to the Vatican, you're like, no, dude, they wear those puffy pantaloons and stuff, and they have big halberds. Yeah, I've seen those dudes too. The striped pantaloons and the halberds. Maybe that's where he's trying to go. I never even thought about that. Maybe Pope Frank here is going to strip his Swiss Guards of all their evil, nasty firearms because firearms are bad, and he's going to make them go back to like pole arms and halberds and stuff like that. What do you think? You think that's a good idea?
I was just reading this one comment, and it says, okay, let's take this to a logical conclusion. All Christians give up manufacturer investment and ownership of weapons. Who's going to rule the world in a very short order, Frankie? Yeah, better invest in prayer rugs.
Yeah. Well, as long as you can get ISIS to go ahead and get rid of theirs, too, then I'm down with that. Well, we know that's not going to happen. All right, well, that's disturbing, and it's bothersome, and it's really disgusting that someone who claims to be a church leader is for civilian disarmament. Because he's not for total disarmament, because yet again we pointed out that gun control is not about eliminating guns. Gun control is about who gets to control them. That's what gun control is about. Not about eliminating firearms. Oh, no. Don't fool yourself there for 1 second. Now, the ruling class people, they still get to keep theirs. It's just you peasants that can't be trusted. I don't feel comfortable announcing the Thunderdome thing myself. because then it would seem like I'm being confrontational. And I don't want to be confrontational.
Oh, you don't want to be confrontational?
No, that's not what I'm about. I'm about peace and love and brotherhood.
Oh, well, you should join ISIS.
Yeah, well, obviously they are too.
Yeah, so I'll make the announcement because I don't really care if I sound like being confrontational or not.
All right, do it. This is coming from someone who has been paid to beat people into submission and choke them, but legally.
Yeah, that's funny. That is legal. So we have a cage here at Student of the Gun University, and we also have, very recently, we had a bunch more people that talk crap than normal. So what I'm going to do is...
People with forum balls?
Yeah, forum balls.
You mean they got like real big huevos on the forums?
We're going to figure out if there's any actual balls in there. Or ovaries. But anyway.
Forum ovaries?
Yeah, forum ovaries. So my point is that we have a cage here, and if any of you that are listening have a problem with what we say, then you are welcome to come to Student of the Gun University, and we can sort out the issues like men.
Yeah, just step into the we got the octagon. Step into the octagon. It's Thunderdome rules. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. That's it. And you get an education while you're there. Another free education. Because we're all about education, enlightenment, and entertainment. So, look it up. We're easy to find. Anytime you feel froggy, just jump on down. We'll have you sign a waiver. Just like the Code Duello waiver. I asked Jaeger for a copy of his, and he just told me he said, just Google it.
Yeah, it's there.
He said, Google it, you lazy creature. Shut up. All right, Washington fights back.
That's funny because that's what I tell people. I say, if you have to come to me and you haven't either Googled or ducked the problem yet,
ducked it,
then you're wrong, and go fix yourself.
Go duck it. Oh, that's right. Paul Markle ain't Kinko's. All right, here we go. This story was shared to us by one of our fans and friends and followers. Patriot, and the story comes to us. The source is NBCRightNow.com. Not NBC later. Oh, no. No. Don't deceive yourself. It's NBCRightNow.com. Patriot Group hosts Arms Expo despite new gun law. Ooh. Posted on June 20th, updated on June 21st. Posted by Colby Street. Reporter. Colby Street. That's funny. That's kind of cute. All right. Tampico, Washington. Even though Washington State passed a law expanding background checks on those trying to buy and sell guns, there's some organization.
Yeah. There's some organizations. Hey,
Colby, you might want to go back to journalism school because there are some organizations. There you go. Let's use the English language correctly. Who aren't accepting the regulations within I-594. Isn't that a highway? I don't know. I thought that was a bypass around Seattle, I-594. We spoke with some organizers who are hosting a gun expo and don't plan to comply with the gun law. You know something that I was told when I did learn to do AP style is minimize contractions. Yeah. You need to minimize contractions. Only if they're used in a quote, then you use contractions. But I'm not Colby Street reporter with NBC right now. A group called Liberty for All is hosting an arms expo where you can buy and sell guns freely. What? That's crazy talk. They told us this afternoon it's important for them to have this event even though it's against the law. And we got a quote here. It says, well, the importance of having an event like this is really about enforcing the Constitution. The Washington State Constitution says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be impaired, and impaired means to diminish or reduce in any way. And we view 594, the passage of that, and the result of Washington Code as an impairment of the right to keep and bear arms. In the fact that it impairs our ability to buy and sell firearms, said Sam Wilson of Liberty for All. For a small fee, you can camp on site for the whole weekend at the Yakima Arms Expo. In addition to live music, food, seminars, there'll be a few speakers scheduled to appear. One of those speakers told us they're not going to comply with I-594, again, the new bypass around Seattle. We've always been forbearing in this, they passed a law, and we backed up grudgingly, but we backed up. And what we're here to say today is we're done backing up, so deal with it, said Mike Vanderbilt. I think we've heard Mike's name before on the show. And so forth, and so on. Here we go. So if you want to be part of it, if you're out there on the left coast, it says this coming weekend, so we can only assume that it is this coming weekend, as in, what, the 26th and 7th? What's this weekend? I don't know. 27th and 28th? Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
Jared said it sounds good to him. All right, so check them out, and check out Liberty for All. I don't know if they have a website, or if I'm sure they have a Facebook page. My grandma has a Facebook page. Everyone has a Facebook page.
So literally.
Unborn children have Facebook pages already. So
dogs and cats.
That's right. Dogs and cats have Facebook pages. So check these guys out. And you know what? All you folks in Connecticut listening to me, you might want to take a lesson from the folks out in Washington. What do you mean? Yeah. All you hardcore patriots that got in line to register your guns with the commissar. Oh, that wasn't... There shouldn't have been one. Do I need to dwell on that? No. If you're in Connecticut, love you like a brother, but your friends, your compatriots, they sold you out. There shouldn't have been one. Not one single person standing in line. If you got in line, you're wrong. All right. You want to move on now? You want to talk about this more? So we got some civil disobedience going on out there. Now, hang on a second, Jared. Do you suppose that the Chipotle people and the Starbucks people...
Oh, they're definitely not there.
Yeah.
They won't be there.
No. You notice how some people thump their chests and claim to be patriots by following the law? Did you notice that?
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm within my rights. It's like, okay, and what? You know who wasn't, who was engaged in serious disobedience? These crazy dudes like Samuel Adams, Alexander Hamilton, John Hancock. Yeah. Those crazy dudes that were actually issued a death sentence for disobeying. Here, you know what I'm going to say right now, since we got just a little bit of time, I'm going to talk about this. There's this weird misconception of American history that the Americans, quote unquote, that we were right to defy the British because it was a foreign government telling us what we could and couldn't do. That's kind of like the misconception that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1770, the British crown, the Parliament, the King, and so forth, as far as the colonies, the 13 colonies in the United States, it wasn't the United States yet, in North America, that was not a foreign government. That was the sitting government. Do you guys understand that? I mean, have you really ever wrapped your brain around that? Or did you just, because we're like, oh, the British are coming. And one of the things that I was taught, I don't know, innumerable years ago, was that the British are coming thing is actually a fallacy, that it would have made no sense for Paul Revere and the other compatriots that rode around. It wasn't just Paul Revere on horseback that night. There were several people. But it would have been ridiculous for them to yell, the British are coming. Because in 1775, the people who lived in the colonies considered themselves sovereign citizens of the British Empire. They considered themselves to be cloaked in the protections of the British Constitution. Do you guys understand that? They were demanding the same rights as those people who lived in the United Kingdom. What they were saying is, we have the same rights as somebody who lives in London or Staffordshire or Hertfordshire or Herefordshire or whatever shire or shire you live in. Do you guys understand that? They weren't the king. There were royal governors that were their neighbors in all of the colonies. They weren't fighting against a foreign government. What they were doing is they're fighting against what was in effect their own government imposing unconstitutional behavior upon them, restrictions and acts and so forth. What they were all wrapped up about was they felt that they had certain constitutional liberties that were being denied to them by their very own government. Washington's army was not fighting against a foreign power. The first American Revolution was the first American Civil War. Ponder on that for a minute. All right, the next segment of Student of the Gun Radio is brought to you by, well, our friends at Velocity Triggers. VelocityTriggers.com. You got a black rifle? They got a trigger for you. Check those guys out at their website. And if you want to go by their Facebook page, give them a like, give them a thumbs up, or give them a whatever you do on Facebook. And say, hey, thanks for sponsoring Student of the Gun. And Brownells at Brownells.com. If you have a gun, even if you don't have a gun, if you have a life, I bet you they've got something for you. And if you don't have a life, you can get one at Brownells.com.
I was going to say, I hope you do have a life. Obviously, you have a life. You're listening to Student of the Gun Radio.
Well, except for that very, very small percentage of tools that listen to us just to try and catch me saying something wrong, which is never going to happen because there's nothing I shouldn't say. Only what I choose not to say. Shark attack. This is kind of ironic because on Father's Day, my kids took me to a special 40th anniversary screening of Jaws. And you're like, were you alive back then? Yeah, I was alive back then. I was a little kid back then. When Jaws came out in 1975, I was in elementary school. And no, Mama Markle and Papa Markle did not take little Paul Markle to see PG-rated scary films when he was 8 years old. I was not allowed to see PG films until I was in 6th or 7th grade or something like that. I remember my dad took me to see, it was a scandal in the Markle household because my dad took me to see the Blues Brothers when it came out, and it was rated R, and my mom was just aghast. My mother was aghast that my father would have taken me to that. And he's like, it's fine. He'll be all right. But so anyway, we went and saw Jaws, and then this story comes out. And this is a bad news, good news situation here. And the dateline for this story, it's another NBC story. NBCnews.com.
This isn't right now.
It's not now.
It's like tomorrow or yesterday.
And this this story has been out for about a week. And the reason that I wanted to share it with you is because my wife pointed it out to me, and she said, did you see the shark attack news? And I said, well, yeah, I did. And she said, well, did you see what happened? I said, well, no. She said, they save them kids with makeshift tourniquets. I was like, what?
That's crazy that they used makeshift tourniquets because it would have been easier if they would have had an already available tourniquet. But I'm glad that they were able to actually make a makeshift tourniquet with probably a stick or something.
Yeah, a stick. Or actually, they made it from... a witness told NBC News on Monday that it was like a scene out of Jaws when a shark attacked a girl swimming in waist-deep water off the coast of North Carolina. One of two attacks in quick succession. They weren't right next to each other. They were miles apart. Steve Bowser was on the beach on Oak Island when a shark attacked a 12-year-old girl. As one woman yelled for people to make a tourniquet. Yes, a tourniquet. Everyone was screaming, get out of the water, get out of the water. The girl's obviously going into shock. He recalled someone asking, can you hear me, and so forth. It says the hospital official said the girl's left arm was amputated below the elbow, and her lower left leg had tissue damage. In the other attack, also on Oak Island, a couple miles away, a 16-year-old boy's left arm was severed below the elbow. The attack happened less than half an hour apart, or an hour and a half apart. Both victims were in waist-deep water, about 20 yards offshore. And it says that in the story it says an off-duty paramedic used the cord from a boogie board to make a tourniquet to stop the massive hemorrhaging and save the kid's life. So, good job, because and thank the Lord there was somebody there.
Did they start an IV with water bottles in a bag? Do you see that picture? There's a bunch of water bottles together with a bag next to it.
No.
I was like, what's going on?
No. No, that's just some junk that's on the beach while they're treating this girl.
Okay.
Well, this brings us to a whether it's sharks, whether it's animals, whether it's humans, whether it's a rollover car crash, whether it's whatever. It's this, and we're glad that people actually helped versus standing around with their phones gawking. There's people standing around with their phones gawking too, but in addition to that, there's lots of people providing aid, which is what we need to do here in America, not just stand around with our phones. In this scene, Jared, the guy with the blue hat and the glasses on it, I bet you he's a paramedic in that picture.
Yeah.
Because he's not wearing a bathing suit, so probably by the time this guy come rolling up. But folks, if you carry a gun for self-rescue, if you carry a gun because you're like, hey, I know that I might have to save my own life or my family's life someday, because that's my responsibility, because there's not always going to be a cop around, rock on. There's not always going to be a paramedic around either, especially when you're vacationing and you're out away from. Where how long does it take to bleed to death from a severed arm? Not very long. A couple of minutes. It takes a couple of minutes to bleed to irreversible.
If you're human and you have an artery in there.
Yeah. It takes a couple of minutes to bleed to irreversible shock. And so you're on the beach and you call 911 and you say, hurry, 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 get here. And they come flying over and they get there in 10 minutes. If you got uncontrolled bleeding for 10 minutes from an arm or leg, it's going to be good night, Irene. And it doesn't have to be a shark attack. It could be boating accidents. And sadly, it's every year there are people that get chopped up legs and chopped up arms from propellers because somebody did the wrong thing. When we go out on a boat, if we go out on a boat, I go out on a boat with the same stuff that I have on me on land. I don't say, oh, well, we're going on the water, so I'm not going to need this gun. I'm not going to need this knife. I'm not going to need this pocket lifesaver kit. I'm not going to need any of this. No, you take it with you everywhere. You're like, well, I'm not going to swim with it. Okay, put it in a bag and stash the bag on the beach next to your towel so that you can grab it in a quick, fast hurry, right? We talked about that too. Jared, is that not a perfect example or where you would use your shoulder go bag?
Yeah, that is perfect.
We did that on the show, right? Yeah, we did that on the TV show. We did the when I had to shame my friend for not having stuff on him because he just had flip-flops and shorts and took off without his gun and knife. And,
is that last
everything.
Season or this season?
I can't remember.
It's somewhere.
And we also did the Armed on the Water segment, too, but that's been a little while. That might have been a couple years ago. I don't know. Maybe it's time to dig the Armed on the Water thing back out again.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe so. So, I mean, this sucks. This is a terrible thing. But it is a good thing that people jumped in and helped and saved these kids' lives. So, I mean, from a go team aspect, we got to give them a go team for being quick thinking and you don't always have a boogie board around, so you might want to stuff a rat's tourniquet in your pocket. I mean, it's pretty small and compact and
Green Force Tactical makes a holder now.
Yeah, and Green Force Tactical, or is it Green Force Tactical? I guess it is. I was looking for the card. Now we have a sticker. They have their sticker on our fridge, don't we?
Yep.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about that on the radio, since apparently not everybody is hip to the Facebook post.
Oh, okay.
It was this weekend, so it might have gotten buried under a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, we had a few thousand people view it, but the Student of the Gun break room fridge, we're trying to fill the side of it with stickers. And if you guys have a business or if you just have stickers that you want to see on our fridge, then send them to 13034 Kayleigh, Kayleigh, Cove. It's in Biloxi, Mississippi. And 39532 is the zip code. And you can send them to the Attention Sticker Gnome. So you can give the people that are carrying the mail something cool to look at. But we've got an empty side of our fridge here. We want to fill it so that way when we have classes in here, people will be like, oh, who's this? Yeah. And then we can tell them.
There you go. So it's free advertising on the Student of the Gun break room fridge. And who knows, maybe when Shannon comes in to make my sandwich, then she can see it too.
Oh, speaking of Shannon.
We're still waiting for her to come in and make us a sandwich.
Yeah. I'm just going to start tagging her the Mom's Demand thing. What I started doing on Twitter when I share the stories when we talk about her is I tag at Mom's Demand and then I finish it with more bedroom action. So I know they've seen it.
Where in the world is Mike Deddy at right now that he's at some kind of a gun expo thing?
I don't know.
I don't know, but he just shared a picture. You know how Mike's been shooting the polymer guns and polymer frame guns? He's been going nuts with those things.
Yeah.
He shared it with us.
Yep.
Mike Daddy's our good friend. Mike Daddy's the author of Guns Across the Border, or the recently retitled, Operation Fast and Furious, why your government funneled a ton of guns to the Mexican drug cartels so that they can make you feel guilty and want to accept more gun control. That's the subtitle. So anyway, all right, send us stickers to put on our fridge, and we'll advertise it. We'll take pictures of it as it grows or what have you. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this kind of, it goes along the same lines as the this is a shark attack thing and the being prepared. This is just something that I thought was really cool. And if it plays out, if it works the way it's advertised, man, and they say it doesn't have to be refrigerated, it doesn't have to be stored in a special environmentally controlled, doesn't have to be environmentally controlled at a certain temperature. It's called Vetigel, Vetigel. And the cool thing is, it was invented by a kid, like a 17-year-old kid came up with this idea. And he pitched it, and now this company called Derp. Who's the company called? Oh, you know what I hate? I hate when people write stories and it's all one giant long paragraph. When it's a 27-sentence paragraph, that is wrong.
Yeah, it says companies in an array of industries, so it's more than one company.
Okay, but Vetigel, Vetigel, is essentially a liquid bandage. What it is, it
just one L.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Vetigel. It comes in like a big jumbo syringe, and you squirt it into an open wound. And what it does is it's not like the powders and what have you. You're like, oh, Paul, you said not to use those powders. No, from what I'm getting here, like your quick clots and those other things, what they essentially did was they cauterized the wound. And so when a doctor wants to go in and fix it, he's got to cut all that cauterized tissue out. Apparently, the way this looks is it looks like it works with the body. It says that it will help heal the wound, too, by accelerating the binding of fibrin, a protein that acts like scaffolding during coagulation with platelets in the blood. So it's called Vetigel. This kid come up with it. And the reason it's called vet, like VET, is for veterinarians. It has not yet been FDA approved. They're awaiting FDA approval for it. But it says the military model is taking traumatic wounds to stop a femoral artery or something like that. It takes about 5 minutes to stop. Now, hold it. Says the military.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
The quote. Yeah. This quote from here says the military model is taking a traumatic wound to the femoral artery, which usually takes about 5 minutes to stop. Says Joseph Landolia, the company's co-founder. Hey, Joe, I hate to break your heart here, bro, but if you have a femoral artery and that turkey is open for 5 minutes, here's what you do to the patient. You hold their hand and then you zip them up into a plastic bag. Humans don't live for 5 whole minutes with an open femoral artery. Yeah. And who told this dude that it takes 5 minutes to stop an arterial bleed?
Somebody
that's not been through, that does not have training.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm down with them. Of course, with our gel, it'll stop it in 20 seconds. Like, okay, bro. I get you're trying to sell stuff here.
It would be hard to stop with a tourniquet with the rats even in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, to get the rats out, apply it, and then, 20 seconds is pretty quick.
Well, that's from the application. But still, I got an idea. What you could do is you could stop the blood flow. You could shut it off with a tourniquet, and then that'll give you time to pull out your syringe with Vetigel in it, and it'll probably be called something else, and then squirt it into the wound. What I was thinking about is a lot of the stuff that you can't put normal tourniquets and things on.
Like stomachs?
Stomachs, deep lacerations in thighs and legs and stuff like that. But anyway, check it out. We're going to put the story here. Comes from Fortune.com. There's actually several stories. A friend of mine shared this with me. But if you guys are into the being prepared and understanding that you might be the first person that has to save you, it puts me in mind of the super glue trick. we keep super glue in our kit because it's great for sealing up lacerations or incisions on fingers and
above your eye,
and Jared's forehead and stuff like that. And no, the stuff that we use is not FDA approved, but
they can suck it because I'm still
works.
here.
Yeah, it works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, that's it. We are done for a Wednesday, but we're going to be back with you tomorrow, I promise. Let me look at the show notes here. Thursday, Comrade Barry and his minions are doubling down on the guilt campaign. Seems like an interesting thing to talk about. Oh, we're going to talk. We've got slave state news. Oh, we got a Muslim missionary report for tomorrow, and Ball Crusher. Yeah, that's in tomorrow's show, too. So don't miss it. Remember, you're a beginner once, but you should be a student for life.